Hi, everyone. Welcome forward. My name is Isa Itoria. I'm going to be your guys' SDR, and I'm going to go ahead and introduce the rest of my team. Over to Andrea.
Hi, my name is Andrea Franconi. I will be the sales engineer for today, and welcome to Tanium.
Hello, everyone. My name is Spencer Egbert, and I'm the technical account manager helping you figure out how Tanium is going to improve your current system.
And it's great to meet you all again. I know I previously talked to some of you earlier. My name is Annika Garrett, for those of you I'm meeting for the first time, and I'm your Director of Strategic Accounts.
All right, Ford. So as you can see, we have chatted with you guys a little bit in the past, but before we get started on this, I just want to go ahead and turn this back over to you guys because, again, at Tanium, we are here to tighten up those endpoints and all in all just kind of create a partnership that we can cultivate moving forward. So before I get started here, what is top of mind for you guys today in terms of security?
I think something that we really want is better visibility with our endpoints. I feel like with such a big company, it's important to have visibility of all these endpoints and to make sure that everything is secure and everything has the correct patches.
Visibility. I know you have some other colleagues. Anyone else?
I'd say speed is a big issue for us, identifying where endpoints are maybe being breached. It takes a while for us to figure that out. So if you guys have a faster system, that would definitely benefit us.
Yeah, awesome. Well, thank you guys for sharing a little bit. Just to clarify that, so we're looking to mitigate breach systems while keeping a faster speed. Definitely looking to get a quicker pace going down, and then again, increasing visibility across the entire company, if I'm not mistaken. Alrighty, glad that we could clarify that. So I'm going to go ahead and click you to the next slide, and we're going to chat a little bit about what we've seen. So what we have been seeing recently is you guys do have a new work from home option for some of your employees, which has led to an increased cybersecurity risk. How would you say that you guys have seen, how has this transition been going for you guys? Are any of you guys still currently working from home?
I am.
Yeah, I'm working at home half the days. I'm on a hybrid work plan at the moment.
Cool. Awesome. Well, sadly, we also did find that in the first quarter of 2021, we were seeing, due to the friendly hackers, we did really see that your internal system with sensitive proprietary information was, again, not secure. So this is definitely something moving forward that here at Tanium, we are looking forward to fix, much like you were saying, Mr. Gary, in terms of the breach system, and Zach over with the visibility. We're definitely looking forward to mitigating some of those issues for you guys. Again, some of your guys' largest dealers also did have a ransom attack due to the Ukraine issues that we were seeing some of this last week. So I'm just glad that we can kind of bring some of these issues to the forefront. And I'm going to go ahead and pass you over. But yeah, we're going to go ahead and chat about how Tanium can kind of tie some of the loose ends that we're seeing here.
Thank you, Isa. So I'm going to be taking over just because I want to learn a little bit more about your guys' current system. One thing that I was wondering about is with your current tech stack and these attacks, I was wondering, how do you currently manage it? I'm just wondering how many people you have managing the tech stack and kind of your current process, if someone wouldn't mind illuminating a little bit on that. One thing I'm specifically wondering is that it sounds like there's about 12,000 devices that have potentially been attacked out of the millions that you guys have. Where do you think that this issue is coming from? Do you think that it's it is something that comes from the current system of how it's managed, and the fact that you guys are now working from home has left you open for these attacks?
Yeah, I would say right now we don't have a very great plan in place, which is why we're looking into it. A lot of what we do takes a long time because we have to individually find each attack in the system. And it's very hard to pinpoint where it's coming from with people working at home and working on different devices. And we tend to not know how many devices people are working on. So it's really hard to pinpoint the problem before we can even go to fixing it later.
Gotcha. So it sounds like there are a lot of people currently managing the system, but there still are some inadequacies. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. I was also wondering a little bit about the process. So these inadequacies, it seems that it might fit. The reason that the process is currently inadequate is due to a lack of management strategy. Do you feel that some solution that would make managing a little bit more streamlined and be able to pinpoint some of those exact issues, that'd be helpful for Ford?
Yeah, I think that would be really helpful for us to find problems and then deal with them super quick so we don't have to have these cyber attacks happen as often as they are right now.
Got it. Okay. Well, just for the sake of time, I have 100 more questions to ask, but I think that it's important that we talk a little bit about our solution. So I'm going to pass it on to our solutions engineer, Andrea.
Hello, Ford. Thank you, Lauren, Zach, Saba, and Gary for outlining those challenges. And we understand that certainly with cybersecurity, there's an intrinsic risk of managing all of the information in the cloud, as well as being able to continue to innovate and move forward. So at Tanium, we've developed several different solutions that we utilize to ensure that cybersecurity and cyber hygiene is always at the top of the priority list, to ensure that when problems occur, that they're solved quickly and that we can get those far out of the way as fast as possible. So looking at Tanium's solution for Ford, we have 5 specific categories where we stand out, and that's asset discovery and inventory, client management, risk and compliance management, sensitive data monitoring, and last but not least, threat hunting. And before I dive in directly to explain each of these specific categories, I would love to offer a little bit of time for your team to look at these 5 categories. And if anything sticks out and you would like me to cover that more specifically, please let me know. And I would love to give you more information so that we can target and cater this presentation to your needs specifically.
Yeah, could you talk a little bit about threat hunting?
Absolutely, yes, thank you. So we'll focus a little bit more on threat hunting and dive deep into that. Before we cover threat hunting, I just want to explain that we have several differences from our competitors, where our suite is comprised of catered modules, which make cybersecurity easier to understand. We were able to categorize issues into sections, and instead of having one large cloud that has multiple different categories that are challenging to look at, we simplify it using our data modeling and linear change structure, which we're going to look at in the next tab and follow up with more information on threat hunting. So the way our structure works is, of course, as you all know, we start with the endpoint and we start to look at different kinds of endpoints. And traditionally, that might look like a workstation or a mobile or any other sort of device. But for you, Ford, typically what we believe it looks like is your infotainment system, or it could be any sort of screen or method of interacting with the customer. So before we dive into threat hunting specifically, I would love to hear more about your endpoints and where you feel that the target of most cybersecurity attacks is at the current moment.
I think you did a really good job covering all of that. And I don't know if I have any additional information, but if I do, can I ask you at the end of the presentation?
Of course, no problem at all. We're definitely trying to cater this as much as possible to your needs. So if you feel that there are specific cyber security attacks in specific endpoints that you feel are struggling the most, please let us know, because we're trying to cater this solution as much to Ford's issues and challenges as much as possible. So focusing more on the threat hunting platform, we're looking at trying to find vertical movement between these specific channels, as well as lateral movement, which means when a threat is jumping from endpoint to endpoint, we're able to find out why that threat is being able to move from different endpoints, as well as how it got there in the first place. So Lauren, that's going back to your point, trying to find out how to solve these problems faster, quickly, with more effectiveness, so that we lose out on that struggle and that process that's taxing on time and on resources. So that goes back to our previous slide, where this last point, lightweight agent, that's one of the ways that Tanium describes our software, because unlike our competitors, we're able to be very light on your internal resources. Now, understanding that Ford is a massive multinational company, I'm sure you have multiple different server farms and different inputs and endpoints that you must manage with different teams all across the world. So keeping that in mind, Tanium is much less taxing on your resource base. So we're able to solve those problems quicker without having added weight on your infrastructure, which of course leads to more benefits for you and less of a challenge. I know we're coming up a little bit on time, and I'll wrap this up so we can move on to more benefits that Tanium is able to provide for you, as well as some more questions. I just want to outline how much the policy and configuration enforcement part of Tanium for threat hunting is important to us. We understand that Ford has their proprietary metrics and their own business model. So being able to respect that and understand that we're trying to investigate where these problems are coming from and trying to find the root of the problem. So knowing that our team's goal is to be able to work collectively with your engineers and with your sales team to make sure that we're able to dive in, but we get the most information possible in order to be able to do our jobs while respecting your intellectual property and being able to move forward with that. That's extremely important to us. We understand it's important to you, and we look forward to being able to be a partner with you to be able to move forward with that. So now that we've covered threat hunting in relative detail, I'd love to hand it off to Annika so that she can cover Tanium's business and market strength.
Yeah, thank you, Andrea. I think it's super important as we're rounding this off to bring it back full circle. And I really want to ask you guys, if anyone minds sharing, like, what initially brought you to look at Tanium and choose us to go through this process?
I think it really was the concern about those cybersecurity attacks and that managing our endpoints and making sure we do have visibility on all the products and things we're using and making sure they're as efficient as possible.
Yeah, and that's definitely what Tanium is known for, is making sure those endpoints are managed and those cybersecurity, we're not being attacked on all aspects. Because here at Tanium, we really are a surviving business. We have a presence and we have that power of certainty. That's what's going to help you and your company there at Ford. We manage over 30 million endpoints globally. So it's no new feat of ours to be able to come to Ford and help you guys or you all through that process of managing them as well. It's also important to note we have market share within this industry. We understand what's going on with about 15%. 5 of 6 branches of the US military, 8 of 10 top global leaders. These statistics can keep going on because we are a powerhouse within this industry and we do know what we're doing to help you best deliver and make sure that value and real-time visibility is seen within you and your company. And with that, I'd love to end us off on just some success stories to share with you all, because it could be hard getting all this information and thinking, well, how does this apply to me at Ford? How can I utilize this? And 2 key companies I want to share with you all is our Whirlpool and our AutoNation success stories. The first one being Whirlpool is they are a massive company, just as yours at Ford. Again, comparable. They're about 78,000. I know you guys are about more over 100,000. But even with being that global leader, they felt like they're behind the curve. They felt like they're constantly being attacked. As I'm sure you guys felt this way earlier with they thought it wasn't unusual to have 5 to 10% of their devices being out of compliance. But overnight, by the use of Tanium, their average went down to 1%, if not lower than that. And another one I really wanted to bring up for you all is AutoNation, because, okay, this is a Whirlpool company, but we're Ford. How are you going to help us here at Ford? And that's what AutoNation I want to share with you all is they have over 20,000 endpoints. This is a massive company as well. And we were able to really save them actual hard-earned dollars to help them in other places. And that's something we can guarantee for you all at Ford. Do you see how, given these success stories, a company, and given everything we've learned today, a company such as Tanium can be helpful for you and your company to maybe mitigate those risks? I'm going to take that as a yes. And then just because I know we are close to the end and time is of the essence, back in May, we did talk about a 6-month timeline with you all. Now we're almost on July, closer to August ending. So that puts it at the 2-month mark. So we have about 4 months left in this project timeline. How has this timeline escalated for you guys, or what do you foresee happening next?
We're currently still looking at 2 other competitors at the moment, but we really like what you guys are bringing to the table with regards to just speed and just credibility from your past experience with other companies. So we're really strongly considering you guys, but one of our other employees also does have a connection with one of the C-level executives in one of the other competitor companies. So we're still gonna have to make a really a game time decision for sure, but I really like what you guys showed us today and think you guys did a great job.
Great. I love to hear that you do see the value that Tanium does have to offer. And thank you for sharing about how everything's going with the other competitors as well. But I do want to keep this going, and I really want to address your guys' current issues of you're trying to tackle with the visibility and making sure your endpoints are covered and knowing where things are. So I'd love to set up a meeting for next. I think my team said Wednesday works well for them, but we can also figure that out from there. Just put it on our books for next Wednesday, have us all meet again. I'm sure Andrea really wants to dive more into that threat risk that you all talked about, and we can come together with any more questions. I can send over the case studies as well. And from there, we can continue to expand and grow on this. Does next Wednesday at 10 work for everyone?
Yeah, that would work for me.
Great. Well, thank you all so much for taking the 20 minutes out of your day to talk with us and really get going on Tanium and what we do have to offer. We're very excited about this potential partnership and how we can help each other through this all. So thank you all.